McAfee's lost his mind.
That's Mathis. The Colts have the football. Heston throws one over the intercepted. Marlon Jackson. Marlon got it. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
The rivalry is back on.
All right, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? This is a great Saturday. It's actually raining here, so it's not too great. It's kind of miserable. I'm here with Andy, Damon, and Herb. Herb is not a Colts fan, so bear with him. All right, not everybody is as smart as we all are. All right, he is actually an Eagles fan. So we're actually here to do our very first special edition of Around the NFL, where we're going to talk about other divisions and other teams instead of just the Colts and talk about the same stuff every week for the next 6 months or 2 years, however this virus keeps going on. So first off, we're going to do a couple shout-outs. First one is to NFL Longest Yard. If you are not a member of NFL Longest Yard, you should probably get over there and go join them. They are a 32-team group, and it's a great place to talk. It's not a trash talk group, so if you can't handle yourself, I would not go there. You will not last very long at all. Also, we're going to do a shout out to Sports Fanatics. Sports Fanatics is also a part of NFL Longest Yard. It is a page where I keep messing this up and clicking the wrong button. Here's Sports Fanatics right here. All right. Sports Fanatics is a page where we give updates on all sports, going from NFL, MLB, NHL, NASCAR, wrestling, college football, basketball, everything. So if you like to follow all sports, go ahead and go over there. Make sure to like and follow them. We're also going to do a shout out to DNR Breaks. DNR Breaks, again, I hit the wrong button. DNR Breaks is a very great group that's on fire right now. I've got a whole lot of sports memorabilia from them. So if you like to collect sports memorabilia, go ahead and go over there. Join that group. Matt Myers is definitely on fire with some stuff he's been breaking lately. All right. So my first question today, I'm going to send this one over to Damon. Do we re-sign Adam Vinatieri?
No. I can't believe I don't see it happening, not even possibly, because we still have Chase McLaughlin and we have an undrafted free agent. I just don't see the sense of taking 3 kickers to camp to compete. 2, okay, but 3, one of them being what, 47, about to turn 48? Not sensible.
No, I've been seeing it all week, and everyone wants to say it was from last week, or last year with all of his misses and everything. And I don't think it really has anything to do with it. I agree. I don't think we re-sign him. I think it mainly has to do with the competition in the room and how old he is. I mean, last year we were trying to rely on a 46-year-old kicker to make a 40 to 50-yard field goal.
Yeah. There was just a couple times that we did some weird things. So, let's go Broncos game. I don't know y'all remember that. 3rd and 11, we run the ball to set up Vinny with a 53-yarder. He makes the game-winning field goal, but just the whole mentality and dichotomy and that whole situation was really weird to me. I think if you have a good kicker, you can maybe do that, but you got a guy who's 50% on the season, and then on a 3rd and 11, you run the ball.
Yeah, it's funny too because it was so inconsistent. Because against Pittsburgh, we lost because of a missed 20-yard field goal or something.
Horrible miss.
Yeah, it was shanked completely. So, no, I agree. I agree with that 100%. What do you think, Andy?
Hurts me to say it, but I agree. I don't think he's coming back. We got Chase McLaughlin still. We drafted a kicker, and we signed the kicker that we not drafted, the undrafted free agent kicker. Only college kicker that I ever remembered, Mr. Rodrigo Blankenship.
Hot Rod.
Much I love Vinny, I'm kind of hoping Blankenship starts.
Yeah,
and he wins the job.
I definitely do think it's time to move on. I don't think it's time to play friends, when the coach and Adam are probably around the same age. So I don't think it's time we play friends here. Ashley, always a good member and a good follower here. She's asking, do we pick up Malik Hooker's fifth-year option? I think this will be our last thing we talk about Colts before we move on to the NFC East.
Yes.
I'd be down.
You pick no? Here, you can go ahead then first.
I'd be yes, actually.
So that's one of those things that like a week ago when I thought of it, kind of when that news broke just like a couple days before the draft, I was kind of a no at first. But I think our deadline is Monday to pick up that option, and I was like, okay, Julian Blackmon's out till minimum October, and then that's coming off an ACL tear. We got Roland Milligan back there, and Marvell Tell, who was a converted cornerback, originally college safety, could go over there. And we start playing the same game we played with receivers last season. It's not worth it to me. The guy has playmaking ability. Has he been hurt? Yes. Last year was his first year off an ACL tear, so maybe this year is a rebound year. I think you pick up the fifth round. It's not costly, and that actually gives us more time to spend money. And guess what? If he doesn't play good, we can cut him. We can trade him. There's still other things we can do, to hold on to him or get rid of him. So.
Yeah, I agree. I like Malik Hooker. I want to take up the fifth-year option. I actually want him to stay a Colt. So, as soon as we drafted him, I went and bought his jersey. So I think he was my favorite draft of that year.
So you've invested in him?
Oh yeah, I'm invested. I like Hooker. He had 3 interceptions in his first 6 games as a rookie. I think, and then he tore his ACL after in game 6. So. I think the ACL affected him last year. I think he was trying to, wiggle his way back in, but he was also affected with corners being injured. Pierre Desir was injured. So then you had a converted safety at corner. That impacted what Malik Hooker was able to do on the back end. You know what I'm saying? We have no pressure. We had no pressure last year on the front. I mean, it was a lot better than it has been in previous years, but there's too much that goes into it, and I don't think we can just blame it on Hooker. He's even with his injuries. So I want to keep him, honestly. All right.
Yeah. Time will tell.
I think that'll be enough. I think that'll be enough for the Colts today. I think it's time to move on to the NFC East for why we brought on Herbie here. Herbie is my big brother. Usually smarter than me at football, but athletic-wise, I had that part. So my first question for Herbie is Aaron Moorhead. Does he fix your issues in the wide receiver room?
I mean, does he fix the issues, or is he better than what we had? Yes, he's better than what we had, but I don't know if he fixes the issues. I mean, I think he'll bring some things to the room, and he'll be able to help coach up guys. Hopefully, he'll be able to teach some guys how to catch the ball. That Eagles had a lot of drops last year, so I think we were like one of the league leaders in that. So. I mean,
preaching to the choir.
You definitely are. I think we led the league the year before. When Andrew Luck was starting for us, I think we led the league.
Yeah. Aaron Moorhead, I mean, I think he's an asset to the coaches, and he'll help out our game plan.
Do you think that the wide receiver room was your main issue last year as a team?
No, I mean, main issue as a team, it wasn't nah, I don't think it was the main issue. I think the main issue was, I don't know. There's too many issues to go around. I mean, we still won the East. We still, made it in the playoffs. And if Carson Wentz didn't get hurt in the playoff, I think we would have beaten the Seahawks. So. I think our defense and our secondary is our biggest issue that we needed to address, and we didn't do much to address it other than Darius Slay. So,
okay,
let's see.
But you think you guys are still going to win the division this year?
If I was betting on it, yes, I would.
I think y'all do too. I really do. Y'all secondary was just so injured last year. I believe it or not, like watching the Eagles play. Always have. I've always been kind of a huge Colts fan, but I love watching the Donovan McNabb and T.O. show growing up as a kid. Brian Westbrook, Dawkins. That was one of the best teams to never win a Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, y'all were constantly injured. Malcolm Jenkins back there. I think y'all had Jalen Mills. He was a corner converted safety. Or do I have it backwards?
No, well, he's getting converted to safety this year, but he was a corner.
Getting converted to safety this year. I like him a lot. You know what I mean? He plays 10 toes. You know, he's full foot forward all the time. I do think he bites a lot, but very strong.
Yeah, especially on the double move.
Yes, but he does play with a lot of heart. And like we were talking about before we got started here today, the Eagles always turn on the last part of the season. It does not matter how y'all start. Zero could be in y'all's win column. For the last 5 games of the season, y'all gonna blow out everybody y'all play. It's weird. It's like that every year for me. And you always turn it on towards the playoffs. And I agree with you. I think y'all would have won a Seahawks game. And the year before that, y'all play Saints, correct? Y'all play Saints first game last year.
Alshon Jeffrey dropped that. If Alshon Jeffrey doesn't drop that ball the year before, I think we win that game too. I
agree with you, man. I agree with you for sure. And I didn't think y'all had too bad of a draft this year. I think y'all could have hit better, but I see y'all's proposition with Jalen Hurts. So I think people have it all kinds of messed up. Y'all's plans with him. So
is Jalen Reagor who you wanted at wide receiver?
I like the fact that we got a speed guy. He opens up the field for everybody else. Especially if Deshaun Jackson comes back healthy, then we have speed guys on either side of the field, and the middle of the field's going to be wide open for our great tight ends.
You have those good tight ends.
Very good tight ends.
Mr. Ertz.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take Ertz off your hands. All right. I tried to trade Danny before. I wanted Justin Jefferson if you guys took him. He said he would have taken a donut. So will you take a donut for Jalen Hurts? Or for Zach Ertz?
Jalen Hurts?
No, for Zach Ertz.
No, Zach Ertz is on a very favorable contract right now. I think he's making like $8 million a year for the next 2 years, and then after that, he's going to be re-signed probably by the Eagles to be like the highest paid tight end in the league.
He deserves it. I mean, it's between him, Travis Kelce, and Kittle. They're the 3 best tight ends in the game right now. I don't think there's any question about that one.
Yep. I mean, unless you're going to include Gronk now.
I will not include Gronk. I don't even think Gronk was the best tight end in the league in a lot of the years that he played. And now that he's coming back, he's not changing the scope of the league of what it looks like at tight ends. I don't think he is.
He's going to get in football shape first.
Yeah. Like, the dude ain't played in a year. I don't care your talent level, your body. Even if you're working out in a gym, your body still is not going to be able to take what it took a year prior.
My question is, he holds the 24/7 belt for the WWE right now. So after he gets crushed by a big hit, and is somebody going to run out there and try to pin him and take the belt middle of the
game? That's a good one. Hey, so the big looming question is: Jalen Hurts going to replace Carson Wentz?
Absolutely not. Carson Wentz was just signed to a $30 million a year extension. He's our guy going forward. I love Carson Wentz. And, I mean, everybody wants to call him injury prone. I don't personally want to buy into that mantra. You know, he's been in the league 4 years. He's played full seasons 2 of the 4 years. And he's played through injury in the other 2 years. So, you know, after he tore his ACL, he still played another 4 plays and threw a touchdown. So, I mean, Carson Wentz I think he has a little bit of a leadership issue and controlling the locker room, which is a huge part for a quarterback. But if he can get that down, I fully 100% believe in Carson Wentz, and he's going to bring us another Super Bowl.
So I had a discussion with somebody who was a Seahawks fan when the draft actually happened. You could probably go on my page and see it. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick to begin with. I would have taken him later in my eyes. I do think they picked Jalen Hurts to be Carson Wentz backup. I think they wanted to make sure that they didn't fall into a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a trap of having, just in case Carson Wentz got hurt. They wanted to have somebody that I think is somewhat athletic and has the ability to play at the position. Kind of like what Colts don't want to get rid of Jacoby Brissett because they want to keep Jacoby Brissett to know that we have someone who can actually step in and play the game. Kind of like how you guys felt during the Super Bowl year when Nick Foles stepped in and played.
Yep.
So I think it was smart. I think it was too early. That was my only issue with the pick.
I mean, I had a second-round grade on Jalen Hurts. I didn't personally think that the Eagles were taking it. I was completely shocked by the pick. But I did think that Jalen Hurts was a second-round quarterback.
I think so. I don't want to toot the Colts horn, but I do know Frank Reich took a lot with him when he left. But I felt like y'all's moves this offseason on offense were just trying to add some dynamic playmaking ability to that offense. Like y'all picked up a couple speedsters, like Jalen Reagor, like real 4.3 speed. Y'all picked up Marquise Goodwin, in free agency. And Jalen Hurts is going to go in there, and I think he's going to play the Taysom Hill kind of role. Just add that dynamic ability. And guess what? If Carson Wentz does get hurt, you got a guy integrated into the system like Jalen Hurts, who, I mean, in my personal opinion, when I was doing my draft grade on him, is he lacking in some areas? Yes, but I think the areas that he lack in can be fixed by NFL coaching, whereas other people can't. Jalen Hurts, people don't understand the amount of heart and the great teammate and team player he is. If there was a grade for that, he had the best one in all of the draft. That's what multiple people were saying. If any of the 32 teams would take Jalen Hurts, it's a win for your locker room. So I will relate that to Matt a little bit in the Jacoby Brissett sense because we may not see him as a fit, Jacoby, in our team anymore, even though he is a great backup. But the locker room sees him as a fit permanently. So I think the Jalen Hurts pick was interesting. Where to do a little bit high, but I think it will pay off for y'all.
I hope so. I mean, his numbers in college are very incredible. I mean, he had over 12,000 total yards and over 23 touchdowns. So, he proved that, like, especially when he went to Oklahoma senior year, to get out of Alabama. His junior year in Alabama, he kind of like didn't have very good numbers just because, Joe was there taking over everything. So when he went to Oklahoma for his senior year, he showed what he could do. He had over 5,000 total yards his senior year, and I think he can continue that if he were to play full-time in the NFL, although I hope he doesn't play full-time because I believe Carson Wentz is that guy.
And it shows you his ability to adapt as well.
Yeah.
Alabama, very classic, style team, running the ball a lot, power running team, throw the ball deep, kind of a little bit of everything. And then you go to Oklahoma, who throws the ball 75 times a game and scores a lot of points in the defense. So,
yeah. I also think he was projected higher before this last season happened. I want to say he was projected
before his senior season.
A lot of people were until Joe Burrow came out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I love about football, though. I think it was Tua and Jalen Hurts that were kind of leading the way before the 2019 season hit, and then by the end of the season, Joe Burrow took over, and that's why I keep telling people stop saying tank for Lawrence, because I guarantee, from what it showed in history, Lawrence isn't going to be the number one draft pick next year. It's not going to happen. Someone's going to come out of the woodwork, and they're going to light it up. They're going to take over that number one spot.
You just
win a national championship.
And you don't prepare. You can't prepare
drafted
to throw 60 plus touchdowns and over 6,000 yards in college. You just don't prepare for that.
I mean, look at Anthony Gordon threw almost the same amount of numbers, and he went undrafted to Seattle.
Anthony Gordon had more yards than Joe Burrow until the national championship game.
Yeah, and he went undrafted. He's over it. I think Seattle picked him up. So,
yeah, he signed with Seattle as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
He threw 50 touchdowns, 5,500 yards.
I wanted him. I wanted him.
You know, I do give Doug Peterson a lot of credit because no matter what team he brings on Sunday, they're always extremely competitive and play to win. Not trying to nag on our Colts at all, but injuries will show our final score a lot of times. So,
my favorite.
I mean, I was kind of upset when you guys got Reich because I wanted to keep him on as OC, but you know.
Yeah, I love Wright, and it's funny because we were supposed to get Josh McDaniels that year, and I didn't want him. I just didn't see. There's too many coaches that go into New England and then leave and do absolutely nothing, and I wanted an offensive mind because we just left the Pagano era, which Pagano ran this team straight into the dirt. And then they were like Frank Wright, and I was like, wait, Frank Wright just won a Super Bowl with Philly. You know, and so instantly, and I watched the Eagles that year. Obviously, I rooted for the Eagles in the Super Bowl that year. I wore a woman's long sleeve Eagles shirt during the Super Bowl that year. It was Christie's. Yes, I wore it. But I had to go back and watch what he called on offense. And then he did his press conference with us, and he said, I didn't call the plays.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson called the plays, you know? So it's like, now you're back to square one. You don't know what kind of coach you're going to get. Is it?
Well, I mean,
you know?
even though Doug Peterson called the plays, Frank Reich had a huge input in, putting the game plan together when they're working together day in and day out, making sure, the type of offense that they want to run.
Yeah, and I don't think Frank Reich gets enough credit for the hand he was dealt this last season with Jacoby Brissett stepping in and having to completely change your game plan from a passing team to a run on 3rd and 10 team.
So I do want to say I disagree at that point because Frank Reich said even before Andrew Luck retired, he wanted to be a run first offense. Always. That's what Frank wanted when he came over here. He said it. We are going to be a run first offense. I personally think Frank could make any running back come sit in this offense and they will succeed.
I can agree with you. Look how good Jay Ajayi was y'all's running back the year y'all won the Super Bowl, right?
Hey, that was a steal.
Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount.
That was robbery.
Oh.
That trade was robbery. I was in Oklahoma, and I was at a school for promotion, and I got a notification that the Eagles traded a 3rd round pick for Jay Ajayi. I instantly said that's a steal.
Yeah, but he got released after that year.
He was injured.
Well, he has knee issues.
Yeah, he's got knee issues.
He came and worked out for the Colts.
He did, and I think we had
came out of it.
I think we had too many running backs in the room already. We
brought him back. I think it was last year we brought him back, and last year or the year before, or the year that, like the year after the Super Bowl, we brought him back again, and he has nothing left.
Yeah, I loved him though. That was, to me, that was a good pickup at the time, and he performed. He played really well for you guys that year that you guys traded for him. I love Jay Ajayi. Yeah,
LeGarrette Blount's a true winner. I mean,
man, LeGarrette Blount can go anywhere and just truck people. I mean, that's all he's got to do. He's old school running back.
Go anywhere and truck the Colts, you mean?
Oh, hey, man, I used to have nightmares of having to play him when he played in New England. He played in Tampa Bay before then, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he played in Pittsburgh. It ran all over us.
Pittsburgh. But the funny thing is the year the Deflategate happened, he was the one that destroyed us in that game.
Yes.
That was the year New England picked him up.
He's the one who always destroyed us.
And he ran all over.
Nightmares of us playing him.
I think in 3 games we played the Patriots, he scored 8 touchdowns on us.
And then,
Oh, wow.
And like 1,000 yards below.
Or Dion Lewis or James White had the 5 touchdown game against us.
We don't talk about that.
Dude,
Stop it, man.
New England will pull a guy out the undrafted free agent list, and he'll have 4 touchdowns against us.
Hey, we'll see that this year.
I hope.
We'll see how that changes this year.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
Yeah, right. You know who's drafted in the NFC East that I did like was Dallas. I do think Dallas improved drastically.
On offense.
Yeah. As long as their players stay unsuspended on defense, they'll be fine.
I mean, or uninjured because their linebackers are always getting hurt.
They signed Alex Smith.
I think it was 3 years ago, 7 of their
Sean Lee
defenders
playing?
were
Sean Lee's
suspended
playing.
for the first 4 games. I don't know. I think this year we're going to see a different kind of Dak Prescott. I do. I think they've been talking contracts with Dak Prescott.
One who wants to get paid.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't. I think their offense right now is leaned more towards Zeke. And I think they're trying to provide Dak with more weapons. I've seen him improve each year. I don't think he's gotten worse.
I mean, I think any offense that Zeke's on, the offense is going to lean towards Zeke. He's just a power back. You know, he's a workhorse. He's going to take the load. But, I mean, you know, having Amari Cooper over there in Dallas, they just signed him to a, 5-year, $100 million. You know, he's a very good wide receiver. And then taking CeeDee Lamb in the first round. The only reason I think they took CeeDee Lamb was so that the Eagles didn't get him. But at the same time, you know, he's another weapon over there for them to utilize. So, I mean, I hate the Cowboys with a passion, but they definitely have.
Do you now?
You know, they just.
I mean, I hope so.
They have such an analytical approach to a lot of things. You know, I thought that CeeDee Lamb pick was a luxury pick, but when you have the season that you have, you don't have the you shouldn't have the ability to make a luxury pick whenever you have the season you have. When you have a team that talented that can't win games, I mean, you can blame coaching.
I mean, Jason Garrett.
To an extent, you can blame coaching. I mean, it was poor.
No. Jason Garrett was poor. All right, that dude. I'm sorry, but Tony Romo should have at least 2 rings.
But
at least 2.
Zeke,
at least.
It was
DeMarco Murray had his best career in Dallas.
Zeke didn't even look that good this season. He didn't look as strong as he did in past seasons.
Agreed.
I still want to blame Jason Garrett. Anything that goes wrong at Dallas, I will blame Jason Garrett, even without Jason Garrett being there. It's still Jason Garrett. That dude,
with that being said, they have no excuse to not put up like big receiving numbers with the weapons they have between Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb now. And that's not counting tight ends. They got to put up or shut up in that passing game now.
Who do they have at tight end right now? I know Jason Witten left, didn't he?
Jason Witten signed with the Raiders.
Isn't Brisbane or whatever his name is over there?
Blake Jarwin?
I forget.
Blake Jarwin, yes. Blake Jarwin's one of them. And then Swain.
There you go. Yeah.
Swain, yeah. Right?
I don't know any of them.
Just an easy way to find out.
Any of them.
But that's just such an interesting concept to me. They went 7-8 or 8-8 this season. Which one? 7-9?
8-8.
8-8.
The Jason Garrett number.
And you have a talented offense, and you go after a receiver first round of the draft. You know, there was just some people on the board that you could have got that first round there at safety, at corner, that I thought was really interesting to avoid.
But my thing is I'm going back to Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett will lose you games. He will. Listen, Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray, what was it, like 10 years ago? DeMarco Murray was the leading rusher in the NFL. You're ahead in the fourth quarter, and you're not running the ball with DeMarco Murray. What the heck is wrong with you? You put Tony Romo in situations because you wanted to be fancy and throw the ball because you thought you were being tricky, and he throws an interception.
Here's a good question.
Bad play call.
Here's a good question. So why bring Mike McCarthy in?
Why? Because Mike McCarthy, I think so. Mike McCarthy didn't have much to work with in Green Bay. He had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. He's a great. I've said it before. I still don't think he's one of the GOATs, but he's a great quarterback, and I'd take him right now if I could. But Mike McCarthy had one person. Mike McCarthy now in Dallas has weapons. He has a team. He has a roster.
Mike McCarthy did have a good team in Green Bay for a little bit. It got real thin. It got real
Jordan
thin.
Nelson.
He had a fat Eddie Lacy. He had a running back that converted from wide receiver and isn't even on the roster anymore.
When did McCarthy take over? 08, 09?
And he's won a Super Bowl.
He was there. He was there in 5 days at least.
Late Favre days. I'm gonna say last season Favre was there. He took over because they had Ryan Grant out of Notre Dame. I remember, and Ryan Grant had a phenomenal season.
But if you remember, when he took over, he won a Super Bowl.
He did.
And when he had a roster, and then his roster depleted, and he hadn't won anything.
It gets thin, but it's a weird style they got going on in Dallas. We'll go back on that Jason Garrett thing. I mean, when you have Ezekiel Elliott as your running back, your quarterback shouldn't be leading the league in yards.
I agree. Like what?
And he should win more than 8 games. If you have a quarterback throw more than 4,500 yards and a running back run for more than 1,000 yards, you should win more than 8 games.
Jason Garrett. If the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, it's Jason Garrett's fault.
Well, the defensive coordinator was 71. The defensive coordinator was 71 years old. Rod Marinelli. I don't remember Rod Marinelli, but he was the head coach of the 0-16 Detroit Lions.
I mean, Wade Phillips is like goddamn 102 years old, and that dude still builds #1 defenses.
Yes, he does.
There's a better point.
I mean, he's almost every team he's coached as a defensive coordinator. He's made them top 5 on the defense, no matter who's on that roster.
Wade Phillips was the D coordinator for the 2015 Broncos, where Peyton Manning got carried by the defense.
Yes. He also created the Rams defense.
He was a defensive coordinator in Houston before Broncos.
Yes, he was, and that defense was solid.
It was. That's whenever J.J. Watt went back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. No, MVPs.
Yes. He was in the MVP race. He won Defensive Player of the Year.
But we'll go back. We got completely off topic, didn't we, about the contract?
We did, and that's fine. It's still at the bottom, so we got leeway here.
Will he earn the contract? Yes, because that's how Jerry Jones is. At the end of the day, they'll talk. They won't say anything in the media. It will get dragged out for 6 months. He will get paid. But then you have 3 players on your team that account for 30% of your cap.
I think
good for ratings. I think it'll be good for ratings to re-sign Dak in week 6 of the NFL season.
But then you got 3 players, and your cap is over 30% between 3 guys.
I hope they re-sign Dak because I don't like Dak at all. So keep him on the Cowboys for as long as possible.
Very good. Oh, I want to hear.
You want that hate association.
It's funny because we're talking about Philly and we're talking about Dallas, and then I think my whole life it's always been Philly or Dallas. I never looked too much into the Giants or the Redskins. Could care care less about either one. To me, I think Dallas and the Eagles are the most interesting teams this year in the NFC East. I don't think the Redskins or Giants even come close to Dallas.
I wouldn't sleep on the Giants. The Giants are up and coming. I mean, you see what Daniel Jones could do. They still got Saquon Barkley up there, who is a monster back. I love Saquon, Penn State.
I like Saquon.
And they built that front with quality. They literally built their offensive line from the 1st to 5th round. It took 4 guys
seriously
for offensive line.
Yeah, I think it was funny too. Someone questioned it. They were like, "What are the Giants doing?" I can't remember what pick it was. One of their picks was, I think it was offensive tackle. Was that their 1st round pick?
Andrew Thomas?
Yeah.
From Georgia.
Pick.
And I instantly loved that pick because I think teams are starting to learn years before, I can't tell you how long ago, that people wouldn't take offensive linemen in the top round, especially in top 10. And Colts took Quentin Nelson, number 6, and now everybody's like, "Oh, we need to go get a guy in top 10." And someone was like, "What are the Giants doing?" And I'm like, last year they didn't protect Daniel Jones very well.
No, they did
Yeah,
not.
not at all.
They have a good run game.
And Guy got a horrible rep. The guy is not bad at all. Daniel Jones is not
No.
horrible.
See, I had to do homework
I-
on him when he got drafted because when they drafted him, I said, "Who the hell is this guy?" I literally had to go back and like look up Daniel Jones. Who the heck is Daniel Jones?
Here's the thing. Imagine if they would have kept Odell Beckham Jr.
No, I don't like Odell. I don't like him.
All his
I
issues
don't want to imagine
aside,
something like that.
that guy
He's
is
a great talent, but a cancer in the locker room.
Here's my thing. Odell likes to catch the ball one-handed. It's his thing. That's what everybody loves about him, right? But in the playoffs, that dude had opportunities to catch the ball wide open in the end zone with two hands, and he missed it almost every time. I don't care how many times you catch the ball with one hand. You're taught to catch with two. Use both damn
You
hands.
guys want to hear a fun, semi-related fact about Eli Manning?
Oh Jesus!
Do you know every time Eli Manning made it to the playoffs, he either lost his first game or he won the Super Bowl?
That's such a random fact.
Well, I looked at it, and his record's like 8-3 or 8-4, something like that in the playoffs, and it's because of those two Super Bowl runs where they just went and turned into an unstoppable force
Hey, he has a
and
better
killed the
record.
Patriots.
He's a better record against New England than Peyton Manning does.
Yeah, he does.
Say that. We know that one for sure. I don't know what they talk about at Thanksgiving. Eli couldn't give Peyton some pointers. Hey, man, just chuck it, dude. Don't think about it. Just throw it. Someone will catch it with the helmet, man. You'll be all right.
Have your wide receivers have that spectacular catch rating turned all the way up to 99.
We're out here playing NFL Blitz and beat New
Who would
England.
Eli even receiver-wise take to the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? He had the most random receivers. Mario Manningham.
Tyree Davis? Is that
Tyree.
his name?
David Tyree.
David Tyree. It was backwards. Exactly. Point proven. Like, what? Man.
Hey, Plaxico Burress.
They did
That dude
block
shot
first
himself.
for 08.
That dude shot himself. That's irrelevant.
But he also
irrelevant.
He also caught the game-winning touchdown to make the Patriots unperfect.
You know who we did have that I liked was Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I like this salsa. I can't do it, so I just look like my fat's wiggling. But yeah, dude, I like this. I like Victor Cruz.
According to Victor Cruz, he made that salsa dance up on the spot. Like he caught like a 99-yard touchdown against the Jets, and he's like, "What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?"
How do you make up a salsa dance? It's just a dance. It's salsa.
He was like,
pretty sure Latinos have made up the salsa dance.
Not that he made up the dance itself, but he made up him being known for the salsa dance because he was like, "What am I gonna do?"
Doing that as a celebration.
I remember my first time scoring a touchdown. I think I was like 8, and I think when I danced, I hopped on one leg. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was 8 years old. I was excited. I would never have thought the salsa. So kudos.
Well, you're not Spanish.
I'm not Spanish. No. Yeah, Redskins. Dwayne Haskins. What's up with him?
I don't know. I don't even know if they're going to give him another shot. So
who else do they have? Is Alex Smith going to come back?
No.
Alex Smith is still recovering with that awful leg injury.
The guy's like 30.
Yo, dude, I'll take Alex Smith on one leg. Listen, Alex Smith took to the playoffs without throwing a touchdown to a wide receiver the whole year. I want to say it was like 2000.
I mean, you take that, but
he got robbed. He got robbed in the championship.
But listen, Alex Smith would have taken us to the playoffs last year because we didn't have wide receivers. He wouldn't have had to worry.
I don't think Alex Smith is ever playing again.
And Jack Doyle and our running backs, and we would have went to the playoffs. I'm just saying, like, I've always liked Alex Smith. I do too.
He got robbed. They went to the NFC Championship against New England, and they almost won in Foxborough. The Chiefs did that year.
Yep.
That
That was the divisional round.
or division round, 2014, right?
But
Was the year when he was like 7-1 as the starter, and then they put in Kaepernick. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
Was it-
God.
He got hurt.
when he was out in San Fran. Like,
Yeah. When he was in San Fran.
Kaepernick did get him to the Super Bowl, so it's kind of like Nick Foles, except minus the win, in my opinion.
Kaepernick didn't get him there with their arm though.
Alex
That's the only
Smith
problem.
was he was definitely, I believe, ahead of his time in playing wise. You know, he
He's smart.
extremely smart pocket passer. You know,
Don't forget how fast he was. That dude was fast.
Yeah, he was above it. He was number 1 overall pick 05, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 overall pick for sure. 2005. Him and Frank Gore were like one of the worst teams in history, though. That San Francisco team was so abysmal in the mid 2000s.
Well, I think Alex Smith didn't get enough credit for what he was able to do. I think it was Colin Cowherd. I hate that guy. I'm gonna put that out there right now. That dude is an idiot.
Hey, but he likes the Colts. He likes the Colts.
Yeah, I don't give a damn, dude. Yeah, the dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Listen, that dude will say every possibility out there in the world, so that when one of those things happens, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I was right." This whole Brady thing. He was like, "Listen, Brady's gonna go to," and he named off 25 teams. 25. So that
Should have
when
named
Tom
off
Brady went to a
31.
team, he had to do that, not let us catch on. Some of us caught on. Name 25 teams so that when it happens, he's like, "I told you. I called it a week ago. I called it."
I called it when I made my 7th prediction.
Yeah. But Colin
That was
Cowherd,
25.
Alex Smith, and I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, he compared him to Andrew Luck because, like you said, he likes the Colts. This is the first thing I ever heard Colin Cowherd say was that he would take Andrew Luck over Alex Smith because people were calling Andrew Luck interception prone, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty much. He throws a lot of interceptions. But he was mad about it because he thought, "Oh, well, I would rather take Andrew Luck over Alex Smith because Alex Smith is a deke and dunk guy, and Andrew Luck will just put all of his chips on the middle of the table." I'm like, all my chips were a possible Super Bowl win where Andrew Luck threw an interception. But an AFC Championship where Andrew Luck got his ass whooped. We don't talk about that. But no, Alex Smith is a good quarterback. I think if he comes back, I don't know if he'll ever play again. I don't know. But who are they going to replace Dwayne Haskins with?
Well, that's where you got to be
Case
careful.
Keenum.
I mean, but you got
Stop it.
you got a guy that you just didn't Case Keenum? He got signed by Browns this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he got picked up by Cleveland
Last I heard
for a good contract.
he was with the Redskins. I need to look this up.
So no, hold up. Case Keenum went from Washington to Minnesota, then from Minnesota to wherever he's at now.
Houston. He was in
Oh,
Houston.
No, he did make a stop in Houston. He went to Washington last year, and now he is with the Browns. Damon's right.
I know he played in. Did he play in Minnesota too?
He did.
Yeah, he's the one who took them to the NFC Championship against Herb's Eagles.
That's what I thought. And then they went
and
for,
got spanked.
like that.
No disrespect to your Eagles. I was so upset Minnesota lost that game because I wanted them to be the first team to host a Super Bowl.
I was just happy
Yeah,
that they didn't have a guy throw up on the field during the Super Bowl. So.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous when they took the opening kickoff and went straight down and scored a touchdown. But after Patrick Robinson intercepted and returned it for a pick six, it was game over.
But that's better than 2006 when the Bears took the opening kickoff for a touchdown on us.
Super Bowl.
I don't pity you.
Talk about crapping your pants right there.
They were like, "Oh, Devin Heston."
Colts are in the Super Bowl. Let's go, and they're down.
Yeah, Devin Hester. Devin Hester was one of the best return men ever in the history of the league, though.
Our special teams was so bad that year in 06. I remember in the AFC Championship game when we came back against the Patriots, Asante Samuel damn near took 2 back on us.
And if you remember that year, our run game was horrific.
Horrific.
I think we were like 30th to 32nd. I can't remember. It was in the 30s somewhere. If you could be lower than 32, I'm pretty sure we were there.
We also had the 31st ranked defense for running the ball. We had the worst run defense in the league. Dude, we played Kansas City Chiefs not in the playoffs because we beat them in the playoffs.
We didn't play the Chiefs that year.
I thought we did. We did. We played Baltimore and we played against Larry Johnson. And both games
we did play them in the playoffs, but we didn't play them regular season that year.
We played someone in the regular season, but the running back torched us for like 200 yards. It may have been Jamal Lewis in Baltimore.
No, you know who it was? It was MJD for the Jags.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
That was normal. It was either him or Eddie George from Tennessee that I was going to say.
Oh, Eddie George.
All over.
But when we went to Jacksonville that year, we got steamrollered by MJD. I'm talking like 44 to like 20 or something.
Oh man. That Eagles Super Bowl was exciting. Exciting.
It was.
Dude, the score showed it a lot closer game, but y'all won in like every phase of the football game. I mean, who nailed
Jenkins?
Derek Barnett?
Destroyed Cook.
Jenkins nailed and I was like, that's the stamp on this game. It was one of the most embarrassing things I've seen in my life.
When Nick Foles did the Philly special, Eagles have to win that game there because you got to name Nick Foles the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what,
no matter what.
Because y'all got the ball first in that game and scored on the first drive, didn't y'all?
Yeah, field goal.
Oh, field goal. The first time I saw Nick Foles step up in the pocket and deliver the ball like 15, 20 yards down the field, I was like, okay, this game's going to be a little bit different than we probably think. Because I knew he'd be a starter in the past, but I guess my memory had just relished of just him being that kind of quarterback. But I'm like, here you got a backup in the Super Bowl, and he's stepping up in the pocket and delivering the ball down the field like that.
Yep. I mean, he's probably the best. Eagle. That's probably another reason that the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts is because they want that solid backup, somebody that if Wentz does go down, they know that they have a reliable guy that can step in and take the reins.
Yeah. Yeah. The year you guys went to the Super Bowl, I called it before the season started. And I think it wasn't because
bet on it and won some money.
I should have. But the thing was before the season, there was an article that was put out, I believe in July or August, that was talking about what Carson Wentz was doing during the offseason. And this is where my respect for Carson Wentz went. Because the year before, I questioned him as a player mainly because of that North Dakota State, right? Was that a Division I AA or whatever? I questioned his ability to move up into the NFL. And I remember you and I had a discussion about it, which you actually educated me on the levels of college football because I don't pay attention to college very much, which I do now.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, well, I do now. I want to scout when I get out of the Army. So that's my plan. And I'm 7 classes from my sports management degree. So
that's pretty cool. Good luck.
Thanks. The question that I had was Carson was he going to be able to move up to the NFL? And his rookie year, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. And then the article I read was Carson Wentz paid for his own QB coach during the offseason. So Carson Wentz went out, got his own trainer to work with him that year.
I was actually a baseball guy.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I have so much respect for this guy, and I hope that every quarterback learns from this because most of these quarterbacks just work out with their wide receivers, and that's cool and all. But to see Carson Wentz take ownership of his flaws and say, I'm going to go do what I need to do to improve for my team, that moment I said, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're winning the Super Bowl this year. That guy, I like him. He's going to do it. And Week
It
one,
happened, but without him.
yeah, but week one he was throwing dimes.
Oh, yeah.
He was on point that game.
All season long. When
was a
Carson
lot.
was in there that entire season, we were destroying people by like 30.
That was his MVP. That was his MVP season, dude. He literally was number one in the MVP race, and he tore his ACL.
Yep.
I still think he should have won the MVP.
He should have.
See, you don't want a guy on your team to win MVP because that means if you go to the Super Bowl, you're jinxed anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
So instead, Tom Brady won it, and he lost a shootout.
Yeah. That was the highest, most yards ever in a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think there was only one punt the entire game.
Yeah.
That was such an entertaining game. That was.
My
that was a
favorite.
fun game to watch.
Most people will disagree, but my favorite Super Bowl was the Rams and New England Super Bowl, mainly because I like defense, and to see the amount of defense played that year, that game was just, I loved it. I didn't like saying, "Oh, here's another punt," but I definitely like
the Rams, the greatest
Which
show
one?
on turf.
No, he's talking about last year.
3 years ago.
Okay.
Man,
Hey, come on, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch that Super Bowl because I didn't like that the Patriots were back in, and the way the Rams got there with that bad pass interference, no call, it just put a sour taste in my mouth for them too. It's easy to root. It's easy for us as Colts fans to root against the Patriots, but when I can't even bring myself to root for the other team, nah, man.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, I got that year that they said, God, I'm slipping his name. Cowboys dropped the pass against Green Bay. What the heck? Des Bryant.
Des Bryant.
I thought that was a bullshit call. I couldn't root for Green Bay ever again. I couldn't do it. I thought it was such a bad call. I really think Dallas should have won that game.
Y'all don't realize it's like living in Texas, like I do, and something like that happened. Y'all think Cowboys fans are bad on social media? Imagine living here and seeing this. Y'all don't understand the presence it had and the mess I was talking after the game. Oh, it wasn't a catch. It wasn't.
Oh man, and it's funny. I remember when I lived in El Paso for like 2.5, 3 years. All I saw was Texans flags all over the place, right? Texans flags, and then I think Dallas won the division the one year, and I remember driving down the street the next season, and there were just Dallas flags everywhere. I was like, make up your mind, man. What's going on here?
Houston fans are just leftover New Orleans Saints or Dallas Cowboys fans. That's what I always tell people.
No, or they're old Oiler fans. I see a lot of them. I see a lot of old Oiler fans as Texans fans.
See, I'll give them credit because they're homers, or they stick with their hometown.
You'll never find a Colts fan that was a Ravens fan, or a Ravens fan that was a Colts fan. It just won't happen. They hate us. They won't even admit to it. So I don't like Indianapolis. They're trash.
Did y'all know that the Colts, like their original plan when the Mayflower packed up, was to go to Arizona? That was their destination on the map. But the snow was so bad on the snowstorm that they stopped in Indianapolis, and that's why they got caught. They were gonna be.
What a lot of people don't realize either is the original ownership started as a Cleveland Brown ownership.
Yeah. It was going to be the Phoenix. It was about to be the Phoenix. It was going to be the Phoenix Colts, the Arizona Colts, and the snow was so bad that they stopped in Indianapolis. That's where they stayed.
Yeah, that's funny.
Good.
That's funny stuff. All right, so who wins the NFC East?
What was the question?
It's on the bottom.
Who wins the NFC East?
Who are the NFC East?
I say
the division winners from last year have to be the favorites again.
All right.
What about that whole thing about the division has not been won by a back-to-back winner since 03-04?
Oh.
Yeah, well, that was the Eagles that did that, so it's gonna happen again.
I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. I'm gonna say New York Giants.
What?
Ooh.
It wouldn't
Hey.
surprise me, actually.
Hey, whatever you're drinking, I want some.
I think it comes down to how Dak Prescott performs. If he plays like he's in a contract year and he wants to get paid, I think I would give it to the Cowboys. I also think if the Eagles stay healthy, they're going to be in it too. For me, it's Cowboys or Eagles. I'll give the Giants like maybe a 5 to 10% chance, and the Redskins. The Redskins have Dan Snyder, so they're not going anywhere.
I'm gonna call it now. Sterling Shepard's gonna have a breakout year. Daniel Jones is gonna throw for over 4,000 yards. Saquon Barkley's gonna have 1,400 yards on the ground. They're gonna be a decent team on defense, and they're gonna win a division.
I can see all that happening.
So mine is
We
all right.
will see.
So I have a depends situation. If Carson Wentz is healthy for more than 10 games, Eagles win the division. I think if not, Dallas wins that division.
My depends is more on the Dak Prescott side of things, but I can agree with that.
I think I like the Mike McCarthy hire as a head coach. I don't think that he's going to do it like that in Dallas, even though I like it and I like the weapons they have. I think their whole offensive scheme is about to change, and I don't think Dak I think he earns his contract, like we talked about earlier, but I don't think he's going to be able to run a brand new offense as quickly as, let's say, an Aaron Rodgers would have when Mark McCarthy took over in Green Bay.
That's
Also,
that's a fair point.
Doug Peterson is the only returning coach in the entire division. Every other team in this division has a new coach, and the fact that they're not able to get together and do this off-season workouts the way they normally would is a huge help to the Eagles in that, because all this COVID going on, they're not able to get the team together, because normally teams with new NFL head coaches have a longer period to be with their team. So that could play a factor in this.
I feel like you just can't sleep on those new head coaches sometimes, though, because the last 2 times the Colts had a new head coach, they went to the playoffs that coach's first year.
But like what Herb was saying is that we were able to have our OTAs, have our face-to-face meetings, all that off-season training that's important. These head coaches in the NFC East right now, they don't have that opportunity, and it's a huge difference, to sit in a Zoom cloud meeting and talk playbook than actually getting together and seeing it and doing it. It's totally different, and I agree. I think Doug Peterson has an advantage over the rest of the division.
You put it that way, I agree.
If this was a normal offseason, I might lean a little more towards Cowboys. Maybe I might even be stuck 50-50 and say I'm not making a decision. But I'm going to go Eagles just because of their advantage with having the same coach. And I'm going to say because they have a former Colt now as a coach over there, he's going to show them how winning a Super Bowl happens.
Yeah. He played 36 games for you guys, had 31 career receptions and 1 touchdown in his entire career.
Hey, he made the Pro Bowl and All-Pro on special teams. All right. So I actually went and looked the other day because I saw Aaron Moorhead and I was like, hold on, because Danny was telling me that a new coach came in and everything, and I was like, you know what? Who is their new wide receiver coach? That to me, that was I thought that was your biggest issue. So I was like, you know what? Who is it? And I went and looked. I saw Aaron Moorhead. I said, who the heck is Aaron Moorhead? I remember him from somewhere, and I saw blue and Moorhead on the back of a jersey. I think it had to be Colt. So I Googled him, and I was like, oh, he was a Colt, 2003 to 2007. He only played for the Colts. He never played for anyone else. Only played for the Colts.
So he is a Super Bowl champion then.
He is a Super Bowl champion. He is. And then I saw All-Pro, and I saw Pro Bowl. And
he caught a pass in the Super Bowl.
Huh?
I think he caught a pass in the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game, one of the two.
He might have. He caught a pass. So many people caught a pass from Peyton Manning. It's ridiculous. But And I was like, I saw All Pro and Pro Bowl. I said, how the heck did this guy make All Pro Pro Bowl? Was it that big of a difference? 15 years ago, he had 330 yards as a career wide receiver. What happened? And and then I think Damon and somebody else said to me, he was like, well, he was on special teams. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Then he probably made it on special teams. So. But if you had him as a special teams coach, it might help you a little more. But I don't know how much about wide receiver for him.
Oh, here might help his case here. Oh, never mind.
No, go ahead, man.
I looked him up on Wikipedia. His father was a Super Bowl champion who played with the Giants, Broncos, and Bears, and the page says that he and Aaron are the first father-son tandem in the NFL to win a Super Bowl, and I thought that meant his father was a coach, but no.
No. Oh, who's his dad?
Emery Moorhead.
Yeah, I never heard of him. He's probably another special teams guy. So,
perhaps.
All right. Well, we are 1 minute over our time. We're getting better at this timing thing.
We are getting better. I
we're
believe
getting
in
better.
us.
It took us 4 weeks, but we're getting better. So,
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, man,
No
I appreciate
problem.
you coming on. It's been a while. You need to come see your nieces, all right? Or we'll come see you. I don't know, man. Like COVID and Army, the combination is not so good.
Yeah, well, I definitely need to fly out there. I haven't been out there, so.
This place sucks. Don't fly out here, man. You don't want to come to Washington. It's garbage. Come on now. The sugar tax is higher than anything else I've ever seen in any state in the United States. All right, it's
Where
things
are
like
you again?
I'm in Washington State. I'm by Seattle.
Sugar tax.
The traffic is
Wow.
high. I coach semi-pro out here, and it's more of a buddy system than it is actual talent. I've got a lot of people. I've got a lot of people out here who are very good at actually playing football. But football is not too big out here. I think if they went and played in like, let's say, Texas, they'd probably get whooped.
There's already a 12th man in Texas. That's Texas A&M. Can't
Right, exactly. So, yeah, you don't want to come out here to Washington, man. Just avoid it. It rains all year, dude. It rains all year. All year, man. I still haven't found sparkling.
Get to meet my nieces.
Yeah. They're probably being pains in the butt right now to their mom. So,
Get off the computer with your friends.
Nah, she don't get mad like that. I mean, the kids are fun. Yeah, you definitely need to see them though. I think I'm supposed to move in December. We're aiming towards Texas. Probably San Antonio area is I think where we're trying to go.
You can transfer.
Yeah, and
Nope.
I think that's where we're trying to stay. We're trying to buy a house down there, so Texas definitely seems like it's a spot to go. So,
Hey, born and raised Fort Hood my whole life.
I wouldn't be proud of that.
No bueno.
No. No.
Leave it at that.
If you said Fort Bliss, I'd be all right. But you said Fort Hood. Oh man, I don't know, man. That's not good. I've avoided that place. Actually, Greg Kalick, this guy right here who commented, he's stationed at Fort Hood right now.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's
This
hilarious.
guy, this turd, he's down there at Fort Lewis or at Fort Hood. He was up here with me. Garcia's from San Antonio area, I'm pretty sure. So, but yeah, I appreciate everybody. Next week we're going to do another show. Obviously, if everybody's listening, what is he sending me? Kalick must be drunk. So, if you watch the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl, all right, this guy was sending out Snapchats. He was so hammered and so excited that the Patriots lost. I think he hates the Patriots more than any Colts fan possible. He's a Steelers fan. but he hates.
Hey, they hate them. They hate them a lot too.
Yeah. So
I think everybody hates the Patriots.
I don't hate them. I did when I was a kid, and I didn't respect football as much as I do now.
Me and you both. You grow to appreciate greatness as you get older.
Yeah, exactly, and I definitely appreciate them. I don't like them when they play Indy. I hate them, but anything other than that, I appreciate what they've done.
When any team plays Indy, I hate them. Even if I
Well, they're playing
generally
the
like
weakest
them.
division in the league, so
We're not talking about the Eagles here.
I think
NFC, they call it
as a
NFC
Colts-
East for a reason.
as a Colts fan, I remember the first time the Colts and Eagles played since I was a Colts fan, and I want to say we won 36-6 that year. I was so excited. So excited. I remember talking so much trash. I was like, y'all are trash. And then I remember, I think it was like 7 years ago, y'all whooped us. And I was like, oh, I can't talk to my family.
I remember it looked like we were going to win that game, and Austin Collie, in true Austin Collie fashion, got piped over the middle on a deep six and had like one of the worst concussions in NFL history in the middle of the
I
field.
remember Austin Collie.
And that, fun fact, was the last time we wore our throwback uniforms.
Good reason never to wear them again.
Listen, the Colts need to stop wearing any alternate uniform. We need to just stick to our normal uniforms. Anytime we wear alternate, color rush, anything, throwbacks, whatever, we get whooped. Or we get close to losing, and I get drunk, and I get in trouble.
Like the time we barely beat Miami the year before.
See, I like
It's always
those color
beautiful.
rushes, though.
When we wore
I
against
like
Miami,
the full blue look.
you like the full blue look? I don't like the full blue look. I like
It's
the blue.
polarizing, but every
You know what
I
time
love
we
the Kelly Green.
I miss the throwbacks for the Eagles. I miss that green with the actual eagle on the helmet. Man, I love those uniforms. Or not the eagle on the helmet, the eagle on the side of the jersey.
I remember whenever y'all wore the yellow and blue throwbacks.
Yeah, the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I was telling Christy the other day I miss those light green uniforms, man. It's like when I think Eagles, I always think those light green uniforms. I don't think the new ones now.
one throwback nobody misses is those bumblebee uniforms the Steelers had.
Steelers are trash. That was for Kalik. Yeah, I don't like those either. No one likes those. What I like is that our every Sunday uniform is usually our throwbacks. That's what I like. We don't change our uniform enough for us to be like, oh my God, look at that. We're wearing throwbacks. I can't tell. The jersey.
Ironically, the new ones are probably more throwback than anything because of the way they changed the numbers.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter to me. You know, well, they changed the swoosh to black, and I don't like that at all. I don't like the swoosh to black.
It didn't complement the jersey very well.
There's no black anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look right.
It makes no sense.
It'll grow on us, I think. I think we'll get used to it. It'll grow on us.
Maybe. I think when I order my Jonathan Taylor jersey, since he's my favorite pick of this year, and I'm investing in him, I'm going to request the white swoosh. I don't want the black. I don't want it. It's weird.
Well, depending on, are you getting it away or home?
I don't wear the white. I got kids, man. They get stuff all over my white jerseys, and then I get mad.
If you're ordering the home, it doesn't matter. It's going to have the white swoosh.
Oh, that's right. The black is only for the away.
Yeah, only for the away.
Oh, thank God. Whew, I'm good then. I'm good. I wear blue. I don't wear white.
I don't know who my next Colts jersey is going to be, but if we go to the Super Bowl and win it with Phillip Rivers, it's going to be Phillip Rivers.
I wanted to Quentin Nelson because it's so unique to have an O-lineman jersey, but
it's not anymore.
I think Darius Leonard is just so spectacular. That is seriously the best linebacker in the league. I'll take him over anybody. Everything, he'll do it.
I got my Darius Leonard. I got it with a 35 seasons patch because that was the year he won Rookie of the Year. That's the year we got him.
Yeah.
I like Darius Leonard, but I'm not going to say he's better than Bobby Wagner or something. Not
I
yet,
think-
at least. I mean, Bobby Wagner has such a solidified career. I have a Darius Leonard jersey. I'm actually waiting on a hoodie that I've been waiting on for like a month. It was one of the customized ones, but I didn't put my own name on it. I put Leonard and 53 on that thing. I've been waiting on it for like a month. I love the guy too. I'd say he's probably the top three for me since Luke Kuechly retired.
Yeah, that's a qualifier right there. Luke Kuechly retiring.
Yeah, I love Kuechly. Yeah, I think it's time we're supposed to actually go.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here now.
Yeah,
All right.
we went 10 minutes past our time, so usually this is Andy's thing. He's usually the timekeeper, and I think we got him caught back up in conversation.
I only did that. Hey, I've only done that last time, but I'll try to be better about it. But Herb, good luck to your Eagles this year. I can say that because the only way the Colts see them is in the Super Bowl, in which case, fuck your Eagles.
All right, guys. So
I would love to see us match up in the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. A bunch of shit talking back and forth.
Oh my god,
That would be
my family.
That would be who was the mastermind, Frank Reich or Doug Peterson? Be a good matchup.
Definitely Doug.
The other funny
Philly,
thing
Philly?
too is our other host, our other main host, he's also from New Jersey, so he grew up in an Eagles family too. So me and him would probably be feeling the same way, with talking trash to our families the whole time. So. He's feeling sick. I think I haven't seen. Has he even said anything? I don't think he has. But yeah. So next week, we'll be back next week, and I think our main thing is I want to talk about is Eason or Brissett.
We're not gonna talk about other divisions again.
Not next week. I don't want to do it every week because obviously we're mainly Colts experts. And for the show, as Colts it should be Colts more often. And if we do each division every week, we're gonna run out of space by the time the season starts. So I figured let's pan it out. Maybe do a division or two a month. So this was in the beginning of the month, so maybe closer to the end of the month we do another division, and then the other 3 weeks or 2 weeks will be Colts.
I do want to talk about Jordan Love.
I'm not going to be on next week, but I'll tell you right now, I don't think Eason's ready. I think you'd be better off with having Brissett as the backup and keep Eason on to learn for about a year before it becomes the backup.
Agreed.
I'm going to save my thoughts for next week, so I don't put them all out here now. Everybody's already left because it's supposed to be an hour. So. But yeah, so Herb, I appreciate you coming on, man. I miss you, brother. And,
all right, buddy.
Hope to see you again soon.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Had fun.
All right, guys. Hey, see you all next week. Oh.
Pat McAfee's lost his mind. The Colts have the football. Heston throws one over the net. Intercepted. Marlon Jackson. Marlon got it. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
The rivalry is back on.